Each of us has experienced a situation where you start working, spend several long hours on it, and by the end of the day, realize you haven't accomplished as much as you planned. In such moments, it's best to replay your day in your mind and recall how many times and on what exactly you got distracted while working. From my own experience, I've learned more than once that in just 3 to 4 hours of focused work, you can often complete more tasks than in 10 hours of relaxed, unfocused work when you constantly get distracted by social media, phone calls, or other important things. In this video, I decided to share a few rules, exercises, and recommendations that help me improve my concentration, get distracted less, and ultimately get more done in less time. The first and most basic, yet surprisingly hardest rule to follow is this: eliminate as many distractions as possible while working, or at least reduce potential ones. It's hard to say how many times I've ignored this rule myself, checking messages, reading news for a couple of minutes, checking the weather, and then responding to yet another message. At first glance, all these small things seem harmless and unrelated to productivity. That's what I thought too, until I installed an app that tracks how much time you spend in different applications and websites throughout the day. There are many free tools like this. In my Telegram channel, I made a list of all the apps I personally use, as well as a short list of useful books that can complement this video. The link is in the description. When you can visually see that you've spent 2 to 3 to 4 hours of your day on social media or watching videos instead of working, you start to look at your time differently. It's much better to divide your work into small segments and use breaks between them to reply to messages or do things unrelated to work. And that brings us to the second rule: plan your day in advance and stick to your schedule. First, it allows you to realistically assess your capabilities and available time. Second, a good daily plan helps you set priorities in advance to separate truly important tasks from secondary ones. And third, it's simply satisfying to cross off completed tasks throughout the day and then, in the evening, see that you've done everything, or almost everything you planned. As for planning, here are a few simple principles I personally follow. It's much better to make your plan in the evening, not in the morning. This way, you're less likely to forget something important, and it helps clear your mind before sleep. The more difficult or important the task, the earlier in the day you should tackle it. In the first half of the day, we usually have more energy and less fatigue, so it's best to handle major or demanding work during that time. Every task needs its own approach. Some things can be done for 2 to 3 hours straight without much fatigue, while others may require breaks every 20 to 30 minutes. If you're unsure how long a task will take, it's better to allocate a bit more time for it in advance. And finally, plan not only your work, but also your rest. Think ahead about what you'll do during breaks between tasks. Ultimately, if you want to improve your concentration, get distracted less, and get more done while working the same amount, or even less, you must pay special attention to rest. That's why the third rule is this: learn how to create quality rest for yourself. Personally, I divide rest into 3 categories: physical, psychological, and restorative. All 3 are closely connected, which means if you want to rest well, to later work efficiently, and absorb new information more easily, you must pay attention to each one. Physical rest includes everything that affects your body and helps keep it healthy. If you spend most of your day sitting, it's essential to move during breaks. Ideally, have 2 to 3 proper workouts per week, or at least take regular walks. This also includes nutrition. For example, if you feel sleepy or exhausted after eating, it's a clear sign you should review your diet or meal timing. The better your physical condition, the higher your productivity throughout the day. The next type is psychological rest. Even if you love your work, there will come a moment when it starts to feel monotonous. To avoid burnout, you need to regularly do things that help your mind unwind. Listen to music, watch movies, talk with friends, or read a good book. It's impossible to stay focused on work that has become repetitive or boring. That's why it's important to plan your psychological rest in advance and give it proper attention. And finally, the last and most important type of rest, restorative, which means sleep. Even slight sleep deprivation causes drowsiness that affects you all day long, poor focus, constant fatigue, and irritability. You can avoid all this simply by paying a bit more attention to your sleep. 8 hours of sleep, darkness, and quiet in the room. This is the minimum needed for proper recovery and a well-rested body and mind. To make sure you don't miss new videos, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. There's plenty of useful and interesting content ahead. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.